Hi, it's Cami again, here with another book video, and yes, I got my braces today. And today I'm going to be doing the Nintendo book tag, and this is created by Sam at Novels and Nonsense. And I don't know how to link videos, so I can't say link in the description. You can probably just look him up. And this is one that's based off a bunch of games or systems from the game company Nintendo, which they've had some good games, but they also sometimes dig themselves in a hole. Wii U. Anyway, so I'm gonna get started on this. Okay, the first one is NES, which is the original, which stands for Nintendo Entertainment System, and it was the original Nintendo system, also known as the Famicom in Japan, which is where Nintendo's from. And this is a classic you want to read, and that one is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. And I have tried to read this twice, and I have not gotten through it, and I am very ashamed that I have not gotten through this book. I've seen the movies and stuff, but it's very hard to read. It took me forever to get through The Hobbit, let alone this. And it's not that I hate the book, it's just I just haven't gotten around to reading it. And the next one is SNES, which stands for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or the Super Famicom. And this was the sequel, so to speak, to the NES. And this one is a sequel you like better than the first book, and that is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, which is the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy. And I kind of actually like the Hunger Games and Catching Fire about the same. And if you've been on here watching me for any stretch of time, you know I do not really like Mockingjay that much. But I really like Catching Fire because it kind of expanded on the world and the characters and Finnick, and it just got better as it went on, and then Mockingjay happened, and which was okay, but I'm rambling. N64, a book that revolutionized, which is the N64, is the book is the fourth console that that Nintendo has made. And it was really revolutionary because 3D graphics and more colors and stuff like that. And this is N64, a book that revolutionized the way you look at the world. And these are both non-fiction books. And I'm going to say the Bible by God, the creator of the universe through a bunch of humans, and Broken by Reverend Jonathan Fisk. And both of these have to relate to Christianity very much. And it's probably the Bible made me a Christian. I believe the Bible, and this really helped me with being a Christian. So both of these books really, really revolutionized the way you look at the world. I don't care what you say. They revolutionized the way I did. So yes. GameCube, which is the one that Nintendo made around the same in 2002, which would be their 6th generation. And a lot of people hate the GameCube. I don't know why. It's actually a pretty good system, I think. But this is a popular book that did not go over so well with you. And that one for me was Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. Now, I liked Afterworlds. I thought the way it was told was very interesting, with the alternating between the novel and the life of the girl who wrote the novel. But let's just say there were certain aspects of it that I did not like that much. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you've read it, I don't know how popular this book was, but I just know that part of it I finished the book, I liked it, but there was just elements of it that I did not appreciate. So, yeah. Not that I hated it, it's just, yeah. Wii, which is a new favorite book, and that one for me is probably Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which is basically a retelling of Snow White set in a future science fiction-y world, and it's really good. And I like how it was like Snow White, but I felt like I was also reading something that was original at the same time. And it was like Snow White, but it was different enough to make it enjoyable, and not one of those the upteenth amounts of fairy tale retellings that we're getting these days, which seems to be a trend. A lot of fairy tale retelling, just if you ask me. Nintendo Power, favorite graphic novel series series you want to start. which is this is Sailor Moon by Naoko Takeuchi, and I don't think I pronounced her name right. And oh, what a surprise! It's that one. You probably never would have guessed that it was this one. I don't talk about it in almost every single video. Yeah, it's this one because it's just a really good series, and it's like one of those things you either love it or you hate it. And I loved it. I'm solidly in the love it group for this whole franchise. I'm just a little obsessed. And this one is Super Mario, a character you want to squish like a Goomba, which are the little mushroomy enemies, for those of you who don't know. And this is Octavian from the Heroes of Olympus series. It's bad enough that he slaughtered Percy's panda. He's a jerk, okay? I hate him. He's terrible. The panda, the pillow pet, ugh. Octavian, I'm so glad he died in Blood of Olympus. Yes, spoilers, but you probably all wanted him to die anyway, so. The Legend of Zelda, a newer fantasy that you consider to be a modern classic, which, you know, The Legend of Zelda is almost 30 years old, but I'm going to go with Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and this is a really good book. I'm only about 3/4 of the way through with it. Do you love my lovely little Doctor Who bookmark? It's bent. And this is so good. It's about this girl named Selena Sardolsian, and she comes to this. She's like basically in like at a death camp for like her crimes, for like being because she's an assassin, and she comes to this castle, the castle that rules the land. And she takes part in this competition to become the king's champion. And it's kind of like the Hunger Games in that aspect. And it's also it's very original, and I really like it. And I've read a lot of fantasy. This is probably one of the best I've read in a while. Just saying that, the most original probably, besides Percy Jackson. And it's a really good book. I think you people should read this, okay? Yes. This one. Samus Aran, who is the main character in Metroid, so I don't know why this is Samus Aran, this should be Metroid. But, favorite sci-fi novel or one you want to read, and that's probably Ender's Game. And yeah, actually, no, I'm not gonna do this one. I'm gonna edit this part out. And the one I probably want to read is 1984 by Orson Scott Card, which was basically the one that started the dystopian trend. There was another one by Aldous Huxley, I think, that started it, but it's very much started like let me just put it this way: The Giver and The Hunger Games and Divergent and whatever else, they probably wouldn't be around if it weren't for 1984, which I want to read it. And yeah, 1984. Pokemon book editions you want to collect, which is probably the box sets, like the newer versions of the Sailor Moon manga, or the original trilogy of The Hunger Games, because I didn't actually buy The Hunger Games. I just borrowed it from my brother's friend. Donkey Kong, which is a book with original characters, which this is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. And you might have seen the movie, but like it's not so much like, yes, this book itself in and of itself is very original. Like it probably has one of the most original ideas. It's got like one of the most original villains that I've ever heard of. The Other Mother is so creepy. I don't even know where to begin with this person. Maybe it was the button eyes. Maybe it was the whole bringing the children to the other world. I don't know what it is with her. She's just all sorts of disturbing and original. I love this book so much. So yes, this one. Yeah. Nintendo fandom. Favorite Nintendo games or ones you want to play, but I don't know why it's ones you want to play. Which is probably the Legend of Zelda franchise, as you could probably tell by my lovely shirt here. And particularly Ocarina of Time, which this is a GameCube box set that I have, which is the only Legend of Zelda game that I've actually gotten really far in, because I just haven't, because only the ones I played besides this are Majora's Mask and the first game is super hard, and we were renting Majora's Mask 3D, and I'm almost done with that one, but it's probably Ocarina of Time, which you can see from the back, and Super Smash Bros, which is just one of the most fun that is probably the most fun you will ever have playing a video game, because there's just something wonderful about a bunch of Nintendo characters going at it. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. So yeah, I don't know how many of you like Nintendo who are also booktubers and you watch me, but you can if you want to do this, go ahead. I'm just generally tagging any of you who want to. If you have some kind of Nintendo merchandise or t-shirt or something like that, I strongly suggest wearing it, because wearing it really does enhance your filming experience. So until next time, which is probably next week, I bid you farewell. I still don't know how to end my videos. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Farewell, my friends.